Number 43, Trelawney Park, kwaMagogo. A book by Mr. Elias Masilela was launched in Johannesburg at the Apartheid Museum.
I believe this book begins to say to all of us, it's time for us to tell the story of our struggle. All sides. About ourselves, about the guerrillas of the ANC, MK members. What type of people were they? Their bravery, their large understanding in Swaziland as to how should they behave for the sake of our struggle and of our movement.
What struck me most in this book? It's a book that tells us about war. It's a book that tells us about betrayal. It's a book that tells us about enormous pain and suffering. It's also a book that tells us about incredible humanity and civility. And of all these things, what is the one thing that struck me most? It is that part where Elias describes that his father and mother decided to leave South Africa and go to Swaziland and begin a new life there, establish a family there. Why? To ensure a better education for their children. You know, we live in a time where it is almost a sin to be patriotic. It's almost a sin to be loyal to your country. It's old-fashioned. People almost dismiss it. What for me was fantastic, and this is the one theme that came out, what for me was fantastic was that you can still be loyal and patriotic to ideals bigger than yourself. The second theme that came out was the enormous civility. Elias was ANC, his brother Lucky PAC. It created an enormous tension between them, and the tension is described in the book. One of the most moving passages is where Elias described how he went to New York on a visit, and Lucky at that stage was living in New York, and the difficulty that they had to relate as two brothers because of these political differences between them. But, and this is where the civility and the humanity comes in, they actually transcended that. They actually transcended that. And not just the two of them, but the whole family, and also the family in the community in which they lived. ANC, PAC, it really did not matter.
Let us remind ourselves about who Magogo was. She was a mother, a spiritual leader, a founder of churches and of schools, as well as a truly inspirational woman and a pillar of South Africa's liberation struggle. She fought for democracy whilst raising a family under the most challenging circumstances, both politically and economically. Magogo's life is beautifully documented in the now prized book, number 43, Trelawney Park, kwaMagogo. Today, the Magogo spirit shines through her children, a warmth, a sense of responsibility, a selflessness, a passion for the development of the people around her, particularly those less fortunate than her, a sense of identity, a vision. All of these characteristics come through.
Mr. Elias Masilela, son of kwaMagogo, was inspired by the events that took place in his home to write a book about the untold stories of our liberation movement, about number 43, Trelawney Park, kwaMagogo.
Somebody said to me earlier on, my book is based on fairy tales. I agreed. I said, that's true. That's correct. That depends on your perspective. That depends on how you interpret the content of the book. The way JP interpreted the contents will be different from anybody else's. So, I will not try and argue whether JP was correct or wrong. And because I never disagree with friends, I'll allow him to have the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Masilela family would like to thank you for your support. The book is now available in stores and at the foyer. Thank you.